Hi, my name is Varun. Welcome to my session on transformational leadership. In this session, we're going to talk about how to progress to a leadership role from a management role. And really, this is critical because all of us managers out there, we want to be great, we want to be successful. But the critical thing out here is we can only be successful if we understand the other aspect of management, the higher aspect of management, which is leadership. You would like to know that, won't you? So, let's take a step back and understand, let's take a quick snapshot of what management is. Now, we all know management is the function of coordinating efforts of people, machine, time, and getting things done, getting the project done at the stipulated time, and getting the best results. How do we take that to the next level? Now, when we're talking about management, we're talking about people, we're talking about resources, we're talking about time. We're talking about getting things done by people even if they don't want to. So, taking cue from this, taking cue from the aspect of management, how critical management is, how to help ourselves to become better leaders, to become transformational leaders. And for that, we're going to predominantly focus on how to be a transformational leader. So, what are the core elements of management once again? The core elements of management are planning and organizing, leading, and control. So the four key elements of management: planning and organizing, leading and control. For this session's perspective, we're going to focus on leadership. What leadership is all about. We know about management. Let's take a quick look at how to progress ourselves as a transformational leader. Now, we're going to take context of John Maxwell's 5 levels of leadership. And in his book, John Maxwell talks about 5 simple levels of leadership. And there's no rocket science into it. It's very, very simple. Most of you have already experienced some of these levels. Now, what is the first level? The first level, the key word there is really position. So when we get a position of a manager, when we get an authoritative position, so for example, we become an assistant manager, we become a team leader, and people come to me and say, hey, I became a leader today. Basically what they're trying to say is they've got a position, they have got a title in their organization wherein they have certain authorities, they have certain things that you can do. They can lead people, they can ask, they can give instructions to people, and that is what they mean by being a leader. But really, that is the foundation of leadership, because that's level 1. Now the upside of leadership is, level 1 leadership is, you get to know your leadership style. You get to know your leadership style. How is it that you're communicating with people? And how can you improve and take it to the other levels, levels 2, level 3, level 4? How do you shape it, take it to the next level? But really, level 1 leadership is the foundation. And once again, the key word is position. People follow you because of the position that you have. So for example, you get into an organization and you have this level 1 leadership position, and your first day you meet your team members, and one of the team guys, you ask them, hey, can you get a few copies for this data? Can you just get a few copies made? Now he may not like to be the copy boy, nobody wants to be the copy boy, but he will still do it with a smile because his boss, his manager, that is you, is asking him to get a few copies. So they will do it, they will follow the instruction with a smile on their face. Whether they like it or not is different, but they will do it for you. So that's level 1 leadership. Now let's look at level 2. So once you get to know your level 1 leadership style, what leadership style you are, you now move it on to a level 2 leadership style. And level 2 leadership style, people, is very, very critical. Because this is where the magic word likability comes into the picture. And what is this likability? People follow you because they like you. Try to remember, go back to your school days, your college days, your early days when you just started working. We always did work, we always did homework, we always did all the assignments for the professors, for the teachers we liked. Same as in the office, in the organization. We will go an extra mile for our manager, for our leader, if we really happen to like them. Now that likability comes from a lot of aspects. Those aspects are building connect with the people, knowing what is it that really inspires them, what is it that really motivates them, what is it that really makes them come to office, drives them to office every day. If we can figure out that, we develop a likability quotient, because then we are able to give them what they want. Some people want promotion, some people want awards, some people want recognition. It could be anything. Some people want just a good connect with their boss. And that is where likability quotient develops. So to develop your likability quotient, the number one aspect is know your people. Get to know your people. What is it that makes them happy in the workplace? And now, from this, we take it to a level 3 leadership. And level 3 leadership is, most of us have seen it happening in the organization. We see a leader who has done something really, really big for the organization. It's got $1 million, close to $1 million deal. So people at level 3 leadership, people will follow you, looking at what you have done for the organization. And that's what will inspire them. That's what will make you stand out. It's like leading by example. And will say, okay, if this gentleman can do it, if this guy can do it, let me learn something from him. And let me also get the same visibility. So that makes that person follow you as a leader. And that's really the production benefit. The magic word out there is production. What is it that you have done to generate revenue for the organization? Could be quality. Could be a CSAT score. Could be a great client engagement. So these are all aspects of level 3 leadership. Where do people follow you for all these aspects? Level 4 again comes back to people development. That's the magic word here. People development. Managing people. Developing people. Leading people. And that's the progression actually. You get to know your people. Develop people. Develop their competencies. Develop their capabilities. Somebody could be really good at Excel work. So let's use that strength and ask him to make some great analysis. How is the team going to project in the next 3 months? Sometimes, or seldom, we look at the weaknesses of our people and we try to shape that. We forget about the strengths of the people. That is good. Shaping of the weakness is good. But we must not forget about the strength of our people. So people development leadership is the level of leadership when people follow you, looking at what you're doing for them. How is it they are growing under your wing? And that could be developing competencies from a leadership aspect, from a management aspect, from a functional aspect, from a project management aspect, from various aspects. But they got to feel the value add being with you as a leader. They got to feel that, hey, this person is going to take me places. And that is where the person is going to go miles for you, extra miles for you. And that's really the people development part of leadership. Extremely quintessential and critical. They have to see the benefit of being with you. And it is a moral duty for all leaders at this level to give them competency, to give them skill, and to give them the right behavior. SKB, that's the magic word we all know. And moving on, the final level of leadership is the pinnacle leadership. Very few people I have seen at this leadership level, but just to give you the context, when I say the word freedom, what are the few gentlemen who come in front of you? Let me just take a few names. When I say freedom, you imagine a Mandela, you imagine a Gandhi, because these people, they stood up for an idea. When I talk about an invention, we see people, we imagine people like an Einstein, like Madame Curie. In our recent times, when we talk about our internet, the World Wide Web, we talk about inventions on that. We immediately think about people like Sabir Patil. We immediately think of people, what was I thinking? Bill Gates. These people stand up for an idea, for an invention. They stand up, so people at that level, they have reached the pinnacle of leadership. They stand up for an idea, for what they really believe in, for an invention. An idea could be an invention, could be a thought, or could be just an imagination, piece of imagination. Could be a Harry Potter book for that matter, but they stand up for that piece of imagination. And that's really a pinnacle leadership. Now, to sum it up, all these levels of leadership are important. The critical thing out here is to understand that we cannot skip a leadership level. We have to go through all the leadership levels. Level 1 being positioning, level 2 being permission, that's likability, building connect. Level 3 being production, what is it that you bring for the organization, what is the value add that you bring for the organization. Level 4 being people development, developing people, developing competencies, people management. And level 5 finally being the pinnacle leadership. So that really concludes the 5 levels of leadership and the paradigm shift from being just a manager to be a great leader. It's not that difficult, but with a conscious effort, with the right attitude, and with the right knowledge, the knowledge of people, it is possible, it is doable. Many people have done it, you can do it. So with that, on that note, I end this presentation. If you have any comments, please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.